Hi, it's Zia Shihan, ziashihan.com. We're going into a whole range of questions and answers, and we are doing this one theme at a time. The first theme is, how do I find my talent, my destiny or purpose, and how do I find a career which really matches my talents and maximizes whatever I have as gifts within myself? And here is my take on the whole thing. First of all, you're going to discover your talents through doing what you love. So if you know what you love to do, of course, we all love eating, we all love sleeping, but some activity, something that produces a service or a product, something that makes you feel good. See, and let me give you an example. In my life, I like to make art. I like to create things with my hands. That brings me joy. And of course, that brought me into a career as a designer. And it wasn't always doing what I wanted, but at least I'm being creative. Now, it really, from my perspective, this is really the first key. By doing what makes you feel good, what inspires you, what makes you feel more interested and also mentally inspired, that's how you'll discover what is part of your purpose, what is part of your talents, by developing that. And by trying things out, you have to experiment. There's no way around it. You got to try things out. Try this. Oh, it's not for me. Well, let me try that. Oh, that feels better. So nobody can just write your list with exactly the things that you are ideal for you. Of course, the spiritual beings can give you some guidance, but nobody can tell you precisely, because life is meant as a journey, as an adventure, for you to explore, for you to go out and try things and discover things for yourself. So you will get some guidance, but you will never get final instructions, because otherwise, what will be the fun of the experience? The second thing, from my perspective, is to stay grounded, to stay practical. See, even though I dreamt always I wanted to be an artist, I still had to go to high school, even though I hated it. And it was just necessary because of a certain foundation that is now useful in a later part of my life. Also, I always wanted to be an artist, but I had to be a designer stuck in front of a screen for 8 hours every day, even though I didn't like it. At least I was still having a connection to the world, making some basic income, being able to pay for my life, not becoming isolated or disconnected. And from my perspective, even if you have to sweep the streets, even if you have to do gardening, I did gardening for half a year, even though I really didn't like that job at all. But it gave me some basic income, and it kept me connected to my body and to the earth. And that is really important while you're developing your hobby, your passion, that which you really ultimately want to do in life. Stay practical, stay grounded. That's my second tip. And number three, dream. Never forget that your mind and your dreams and your visualizations, they will create the future. So even if you don't know how this will happen to you, when this career will come, how it will come, where it will be, you can still mentally project what is your ideal state. So if you do this, especially before you go to sleep, you will speed up the process. And then it is number four, is really then paying attention to the little opportunities and the little hints that the universe brings your way. A suggestion by a friend, something you read in the newspaper, and really draws some energy from you. The signs and the hints can come in many, many ways, but there's always just one step for you to do, or maybe a couple. But that means you're staying connected to the now, to this day, to this week. You're focusing on the things that feel appropriate for you to do, to accomplish. And you're still dreaming in the long term, but without having to know exactly how you will get there. Trust is really part of this fourth tip. And finally, number five, sometimes we become discouraged, sometimes we become annoyed, frustrated, we become even depressed. Sometimes it's just time to let go of all our thoughts, because we're releasing old energy. and then it is not time to think about your purpose and your career and how it's all going to happen. In those moments you're just focusing on healing, releasing, letting go of pain, heaviness, negativity, frustration, whatever it is. Hope this introduction is useful, and as we go into each theme, of course the spiritual beings will answer some of the questions that the audience is providing. Thank you.